Yes, SDM, could you please pray for us?
Dear Lord Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you because we are still alive. Father Lord, as we're going to start this session, may you please come and be with us. May you guide us and help us so that we can understand what they are teaching. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray.
Amen.
Thank you so much. And again, as I've said, for those of you who have just joined, my name is Ineeza Melissa. I'd like to welcome you all to this session. So let's begin. This is an English lesson, by the way, if you didn't know. If I'm to ask all of you, what do you see in this picture? Yes, please, Denise.
I see
Denise,
houses. Yeah?
you see houses? Yes.
Yes.
What else? What else do you see in this picture? Yes, Ariel, I hope I'm saying it right.
I see iron sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a slum.
Okay. Who else is going to be who else can give us a response?
I also see rubbish.
Yeah, there's a lot of rubbish there.
Melissa,
Yes.
is it fine if you assign your co-host to help you out because your screen of participants is being seen and it's blocking the work?
Oh.
As you select the raise hand, you can see everything you're doing. So kindly close this and then just leave the presentation on screen and then ask your co-host, Isaac, to help you out in choosing. So just close so that we can see your screen clearly. Yes, like
Is it
that.
closed, guys? Okay.
Hands, you ask.
Isaac, could you please help me to choose whoever raises up their hands?
Okay. Atai Casey Williams has something to say.
Yes,
I
please.
can a slum-like area.
Mm-hmm.
I see a slum-like area.
Do we have any other responses?
No.
Nobody else? So I can move on?
Yes.
Have you ever been to a place that looks like this in your life, or anything that's similar? And what was your experience like? And could you please describe it as best as you can? Is there anyone who would like to give an answer?
Yeah, it was kind of smelly and dirty.
Really?
Yeah.
Anybody else who could give a response?
The place was smelly, it was dirty, and it was crowded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true. Like, even from the picture, you can see all the houses are packed. It looks like there's barely any space to pass. I even want to know how these people here can pass.
The place was dirty.
Yeah, even here you can see it's dirty. Any other person?
Faith Sarah in the chat says, to me it's packed and dirty. Then Sonoga Austin says, it is very smelly.
Yeah. A lot of the times when you go to places like these, it's usually packed. There's a lot of noise. It's smelly. Like things don't really work out when you're there. So was from everybody's response, I can tell that your experience wasn't the best, right?
Yes.
So before we move on, is there anybody else who would like to give an answer?
No. There is no one.
When you look at this video, it's similar to the previous slides that I've shown you, right? You see how it's like an aerial view of how that place would look like. So for those of you who haven't been there, this is what it looks like. This is in Uganda. So I don't know exactly where it is, but yeah, this is how some of the slums here look like. I hope you've seen. When you look at this picture, yeah, this is different. This is totally different. It's not like the other slides. What do you see?
A tie and
A clean environment.
Yeah, it's very clean. It doesn't even look like there's any emission of waste here. Anybody else would like to give an answer?
Ariel.
I see storied buildings and seems clean and modern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But do any of you recognize this place? It's in Kampala.
Yes.
I think some of you have been around this area, right?
Yes, I also see the post office.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next slide. This is a different area. Have you ever been to a place that's similar to this? Okay, not exactly this, but similar to this, where everything is standard.
Yeah.
What was your experience like? Was it nice? Was it bad? Did you hate it? Was it interesting?
Ariel answered.
Well, it was noisy and smelled nice, but also well, our factories, there was some pollution of air, and it was a busy place.
Yeah. Even from this, you can really see that it's really busy. Fine, let's ignore the road, yeah? But it's so busy, it looks like, I don't know, like it's so crowded. Is anyone who'd like to give an answer?
No.
This is an aerial view of what Kampala city looks like, right? I think some of you have seen some of these buildings, most of them. And then based off of what we have seen in the pictures, yeah? All these pictures, all these videos, Can you guess what we're going to talk about today? Like what our major topic is?
I think we're going to learn about pollution.
Yeah, that's an answer. Who else has an answer?
I think we are going to learn about population.
Population. Interesting answers. Who else has an answer?
I think we're going to learn about life experiences.
Life experiences. Mm-hmm. Who else? Yes.
I think we're going to learn about our environment.
Mm-hmm. Is there anybody else who'd like to give an answer?
I think we're going to learn about rural life and urban life.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
I think pollution.
Pollution. Is that all? Or we have
I
other
think
people?
we are going to learn about waste management.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are going to learn about environment and pollution.
Mm-hmm. Are those all the responses that we have?
I think we are going to learn about social inequalities.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Any other person?
No?
Okay. So most of you are close to the answer. So today we're going to be talking about urban and rural life. That's one of your topics in senior one. And when you look at the screen around our major topic, these are some of the keywords. I didn't write all of them, but these are some of the keywords. We have consonant sounds, we have conditioners, connectors, rural, urban, and conjunctions. So I'd like let me see, like 6 people, 6 or 12 actually, 2 people per word. You get a word and then you define it for me as best as you can, giving examples. Can I have 12 people? 2 people per word, and then you give me what that word is and give me examples. Is there anybody who is going to do it?
There are 3 people so far.
3 people so far. So the 3 people who are there, choose one word and then define it for us and give us an example.
Ariel?
I choose
Yes?
I choose conjunctions.
Yes, please define it for us.
It's part of a speech that connects phrases or sentences, and
Yes.
examples, and because, since, but, yet, while. Yeah, many.
Yes, that's correct. Anybody else?
Denise on me.
Yes?
Urban.
Denise.
Yes, please.
Yes, I choose the word urban.
Yes, please define it for us and give us examples of how the word is used.
According to me,
Mm-hmm.
the word urban means a place located, a place with modernized industries and businesses.
Mm. Yes, that can be right. That's an answer. Can you give us a sentence in which you use the word?
Okay. People migrate to urban areas to look for jobs.
Yes. Uh-huh. The third person?
In the chat, attached, there is a question from Jo and she is lost.
I got conjunction.
Yes.
A conjunction is a word that joins other words and parts of a
Mm-hmm.
sentence. For example, whether. The rest were given by someone else. The examples.
Yes. Yes. Those are correct. So far, sorry. So far, conjunctions has been used, and we have 5 other words that still need people to explain. I want somebody to explain conditionals. Do we have any other participants?
No. So
Nobody
Senoga
can give us.
Austin was
Yes?
Senoga Austin was trying to talk about it. That
To
it
talk about
condition
what?
was talk about if you are saying that
Yes?
condition was talk about if clause and the main clause.
Yes, that's correct.
We have Techno BF6 and
Mm-hmm.
I think constant sounds are speech sounds produced by particular produced completely blocking their air flowing out of the mouth using the lip, the tongue,
Yes.
or the and I think examples of constant sound may be like
Yes?
I think
Mm-hmm.
examples of constant sound may be like boo, g, and
I'm sorry, I'm not getting you.
I think
Yes?
constant sound are speech sounds produced completely blocking the air flowing out of the
Mm-hmm.
mouth using the lips, the
Mm-hmm.
tongue, or the
Mm-hmm.
teeth.
Yes.
And examples of constant sounds, I think
Mm.
F with G.
Yes. And I think this term, one of the consonant sounds you're going to be looking at is J. J, which comes in words like jeep or juice. It's one of the major consonant sounds that they look at. Anybody who can talk about connectors before we move on? Anybody
Please
who can
raise
talk
up.
about them? Yes?
There is nobody raising a hand.
Okay. Connectors are basically conjunctions. They are similar when using them in sentences, yeah? So most of the conjunctions can also be connectors. Okay? Then our learning outcomes for this topic. In this chapter, you should be able to state the advantages and disadvantages of urban and rural life. You should be able to participate in conversations or role plays about rural and urban life. You should be able to appreciate written accounts of young people's experience in success in different settings. You should be able to utilize regular and irregular verbs. You should be able to articulate consonant sounds that are often confused. And you should be able to carry out a debate on a motion related to rural and urban life. Yes? These are not all the learning outcomes. These are just the major ones. And I believe that there's a
Yes,
debate tomorrow.
I'm in Heron's room. Come and find me.
I believe that there is a debate tomorrow. I think, is Ruth still among the participants?
Yes.
Those who would like to participate in tomorrow's debate, just register with Ruth. Have a chat with her, and then she'll register you so that you can participate in the debate either this week or next week. So feel free, don't shy away. It's an opportunity for you to get to know more. The next slide, it says that what do you understand by rural and urban life? When you look at these pictures, the one on the left and the one on the right, of the two, which one is urban and which one is rural?
The one on the right.
The one on the right is
Urban.
Urban.
the one on the right is urban life.
No, rural.
Rural life, yes. Yes?
The one on the rural.
I'm not getting you. The one on the left
The one-
is rural. The one on the left is rural.
The one on
Are
the
you
right
sure?
is rural.
Yes, the one on the right is rural. The one on the left is?
The one on the left is urban.
Yes, that's correct.
Urban.
So, from your understanding, I don't want you to search it up on Google or the dictionary. I want you to give me what your understanding is of urban and rural life. Isaac, are there any people who would like to give an answer?
Techno, unmute.
Yes.
I think urban life refers to the way people in cities and towns conduct themselves in their daily life activities as a source of livelihood for youth, ultimate survival.
Yes.
And rural life, I think, it refers to the way people in villages go about trying to make ends meet day by day.
Yes. Is there anybody else who would like to give us their perspective?
Franklin. Sorry.
Yes.
Franklin, unmute.
While rural life is
Yes, I'm not getting it. I'm not hearing you.
Franklin, Franklin maybe has a problem with network.
Yes,
those are the only hands.
Okay. In my understanding, urban life, yeah. When I think about urban life, I think about industries, I think about roads, but there's also a lot of emission of gases because of the different types of industries that are there. And then when I think about rural life, whenever I think about rural life, I think about crowdedness, but yet again, in a different perspective, rural life can be like a village. And in some villages, it's quiet, it's clean, not too crowded. Everybody there is, should I say, they are always working together. Not that people in urban life don't work together, but people in rural life, they are more united. They are always, how should I say it, like they endeavor to do everything together, no matter what. So that's my understanding of rural and urban life. Then I want you to help me identify the advantages and the disadvantages of urban and rural life. So you see the first picture shows us how urban life looks like, and also the second picture shows us what rural life looks like. So in your understanding, I'd like you to give me at least 2 advantages and also 2 disadvantages if it's possible. So please go ahead.
People in real life working together than others.
Yes?
Oppo, unmute. Okay, Atai.
According to me, it's like according to me, in urban areas, due to the presence of industries, there's a high level of pollution of the air, and it's a lot more noisy, unlike villages where there's less pollution and it's not so noisy. That's all.
Yes. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else would like to give an answer?
John Sander. John, unmute. Okay. SDM.
Okay. According to me, the cost of living in urban areas, the cost of living in urban areas is high compared to the one in villages.
Yes, that's true. It's very true. Because if we look at urban life and everything that it entails, there are a lot of, how should I say it, there are a lot of industries. So since there are a lot of industries, there's obviously a market for the industries there where they are. So a lot of people are always buying things from the industries. Since people are buying things from those industries, most of the time when you're in an urban setting, it's like the cost of living there is high. How should I say it? Like when you're there, everything you buy it becomes much more expensive than when you're living in rural life, whereby everything is inexpensive because you're doing everything by yourself. For example, in a village setting, where most of the time people have um small scale farms, or actually large scale sometimes. So a lot of the time people are growing their own food, rearing their own cattle. But when you come to urban life, everything is bought from a supermarket or a market. So everything is already got for them. So they just have to buy it. So the cost of living becomes expensive. It becomes very high. But when it comes to rural life, you see that cost of living is not really that expensive because they are obtaining everything themselves. They do everything by themselves. So, is there anybody else who would like to give us an answer? Please feel free.
Excuse me, teacher. I have a question. In manufacture soap, they manufacture like, is it cooking oil? And then when they export it to rural areas, it has to be on a high rate of selling it. So isn't rural life kind of expensive since you have to buy things like oil? Just imagine oil is manufactured in urban life, so you have to export it to the village so that people in the village get it. So it's expensive to buy that oil, isn't it?
Okay. Yes, it's expensive to buy oil. That one I will not refuse, yes. But when you look at people who stay in villages, not everybody has that money to buy that oil. So a lot of the time, let's say if you have a cow, that cow can help you make ghee. With that ghee, it's like an alternative for cooking oil. So a lot of the time, not everybody who is in rural life has the ability to buy things in urban life. That's why urban life is way more expensive than rural life. Because even in rural life, not every village has electricity. Most of the time, it's either they're on solar or they don't have electricity at all. If they are lucky, then they have electricity. So in my opinion, I don't think that rural life is expensive. It's actually cheaper than urban life. Yes, there are similar costs. That one I won't repeat. But rural life is cheaper than
Easy.
urban. Anybody else?
I think also vision of services may also be a problem.
Yes.
Because some industries require skilled labor to operate machines. But since people come to town to look for jobs, and they may find it difficult for them to get their jobs.
Yeah, that's very true. Because not everybody who is from a rural setting has got, should I say, has not got the ability to have education. Some people go to school and then they end up stopping in like P1 or P2. Yes?
Yes.
Is there anybody else who'd like to contribute?
Urban areas are more populated than rural areas.
Yes, that's true. Because a lot of the time people want to be where the latest trend is. Imagine if everybody was in the village and Kampala city was deserted, it's unheard of. Everybody wants to live, how should I say it? They want to live a luxurious life, I guess. That's what I would say. Anybody else?
Okay. In terms of transport,
Mm-hmm.
the rural areas, they have poor transport compared to the one in urban areas.
Yes, that's true. Anybody else?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Advanced health services. Urban areas have
Yes,
better
please.
access to medical facilities, specialized
Mm-hmm.
healthcare services, and advanced treatment.
Yes, that's very, very true. Because now when you look at Kampala city, we have very many hospitals like IHK, Nakasero Hospital, we have Mulago, one of the biggest. But when you go to rural settings, there are not a lot of hospitals. And even the few health centers that they have, they are not as equipped or as facilitated as the ones in urban areas. Is there anybody else who would like to give us an answer?
Yes. Also in terms of security,
Mm-hmm.
there is poor security in rural areas compared to the one in urban areas like Kampala. The security is at least high.
Are you sure about that? You're very sure? Could you explain it further for us, please?
Okay. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
security, there is poor security in rural areas because there is limited there- there's limited
Mm-hmm.
Connecting.
okay, there is limited headquarters, and there in Kampala there are more headquarters and barracks
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah,
there
that's
the yeah like there the state house, and also
mm-hmm.
more police stations. So there the security is a bit high than in rural areas where they attack people, and they also they attack you, they rob.
Yeah, that's true. Anybody else would like to give us an
Yeah.
answer?
Yes.
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 In
Environment.
urban,
Can I give him? Can I give?
Yeah.
Can I give more explanation about rural areas not having?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can I give having enough security?
I'm sorry, I'm not getting you properly.
Can I give a clear explanation about rural areas not having security?
Yes.
You see, in northern parts, there are these robbers that come to people, like people who live in forest, like forested areas.
Yes. Yes.
No,
I think
as there are no souls to help them, so they don't have enough security. Killing.
yes. Uh-huh. Is there anybody else who'd like to give us an insight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Education and employment opportunities. Urban
Mm-hmm.
areas offer a wide range of educational institutions and job opportunities across various industries and sectors.
Mm-hmm.
Another, cultural diversity. Urban centers attract people from different backgrounds and cultures, leading to a diversify and cosmopolitan environment with a variety of cultural events, food, and experiences.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anybody else would like to give us a
Yes.
response? Please do.
Oh, okay.
Being in urban areas, like people also face brain drain. It refers
Brain
to
what?
brain drain.
Brain what?
Brain. It refers to the movement of skilled labor from one country to another.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting you. I think there's a problem with the network.
Like I was saying, it refers to the movement of skilled labor from one country to another.
Yes.
Yes. Not by people like are attracted by better paying jobs and better working conditions.
Yes, that's true. That's really true. People are more attracted by the amount of money that they would get out of a job rather than the working conditions that they're under, how they're living in those working conditions. A lot of people right now are trying to get the money over the, should I say, the satisfaction? No, maybe the joy or the working conditions that they have. Yeah, something like that. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Rural areas tend to offer a quieter and more peaceful environment with less noise and pollution, allowing for a closer connection to nature.
Yes, that's true. That's why a lot of times, people have retreats. Like they end up going to retreats where they in village areas. Now, like let's say like Buindi. Buindi is around a rural area, so a lot of the time people go there to relax and let go of the city life and focus more on their inward nature, let me say, to rest and like connect with nature. Yeah? Is there anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Rural landscapes often showcase natural beauty such as scenic countryside and open fields, forests, and rivers, providing opportunities for outdoor activities and calming ambience.
Yeah. And I'm sure most of you, not everyone, but most of you like visiting places that have a beautiful scenery where you can just go and look at the nature that's there. Like maybe I don't know which places you like, but yeah, most of the time people like going to those places just to enjoy the ambience. Is there anybody else who'd like to give us an answer?
Yes.
Yes,
I
please.
think in urban areas there are many employment opportunities unlike in rural areas.
Yeah. Because urban areas have a lot of industries which cater for people to get job opportunities, right? Is that all?
Yes.
Before we move on?
Less stress. The slower pace of life in rural areas can lead to lower stress levels for those who prefer a more relaxed lifestyle.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Anybody else?
I think
So I think I
due
can
to
move on to
less
the
due to less emission of
yes.
gases in rural areas,
Mm-hmm.
in rural areas, some people who live there, they live longer than the people in urban areas.
Yeah, that's true. I heard of this story of a lady from, I think she was from America, I'm not so sure. She she was sick, and so the doctor told her to come to Uganda. Being that Uganda it has less waste emission compared to America and those big league countries. So she came to Uganda, she was sick, and the minute she got here, she was instantly better. So from what you have said, I can say yes, that's true. It's very true. People come here. People who stay in rural areas, they live longer than those who stay in urban areas because urban areas have a lot of waste emission and there's a lot of with gases, with the way waste is disposed. So kindly let me move on to the next slide. I'm sorry for those of you who wanted to give any additions, but I'd like us to reach the lesson goals. Then of the two places, which one would you prefer to live in and why? Yes?
I I would prefer to live in the right place, there at the right hand side, because
Yes.
the cost of living is low. There's low.
Yeah,
There's no.
mm-hmm. Is there anybody else?
Yeah, I prefer to
Mm-hmm.
live on the place on the left hand side because
The left?
they have got, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they have better social services and
Mm-hmm.
even job opportunities where I can work and get money and earn a living so that I can live and buy food and sorts of other stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody else?
I prefer to live in the one on the right because they feed on fresh food and they are always healthy.
Yes.
I would prefer to live on the left hand side because there are more industries which produce uh like better quality goods than the rural areas.
Mm. Uh-huh.
I prefer to live at the at the left hand side, because such that I can access better health services and the education services.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody else?
I would
I would
prefer this
prefer to other
Yes.
I would prefer this one on the left hand side because it's more modernized.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the one on the right hand side because there is maximum supply of oxygen provided by the trees, but I can breathing.
Personally, I think I'd also want to live on the right hand side because should I say it's more relaxing and there's not a lot of noise compared to the one on the left hand side. So yeah, is there anybody else who'd like to give their opinion before I move on? Let me move. So this is a simple activity that I'd like you to partake in. Using adjectives like chaotic or serene, I want you to describe rural and urban life. Let's start with rural before we go to urban. So I want you to describe describe rural life, sorry. Anybody who could please help us with that? Can I give you an idea of what you could do?
Yes.
So you don't need to give a full sentence. I just want you to use a simple word. So when you look at urban life, it is chaotic and it's hard. No, okay, it's hard because everybody is struggling to keep up with costs. Yeah, that's what I would say. It's chaotic because there's a lot of things happening. Then as for rural life, it's quiet. Yes, it's quiet because there's not a lot of noise. Then it's also cheap because you do everything by yourself, like you grow your own food, you do everything, you do most of the things by yourself, so you don't have to really buy a lot of things from supermarkets and industries and stuff like that. Is there anybody else who would like to give, now that I've given you an idea, is there anyone who would like to give us what adjectives for rural life? Is there any? All right, move on. Let me move on. Yeah. Many people live either in urban or rural settings. However, there are also people who would wish that they could change places and be somewhere else. Why do you think that some people would wish to change from rural to urban areas or vice versa? Why do you think that some people would wish to change from a rural area to an urban area or vice versa? In your opinion, in your understanding, why do people do that?
Okay. In my opinion, some people move from rural areas to urban areas to look for better education systems because in rural areas there are let me say there are schools, but they are not in large. They are not in large number. They are
Yes.
scarce. They are.
Or they're Yes, that's true. A lot of the time, schools that are in rural areas, they don't have enough facilities, or they have limited teachers. They don't have enough materials in the schools. Is there anyone who would like to tell us why people would wish to move from an urban area to a rural area? Because someone has told us, yes, there are people who would wish to move from the rural to urban for education. So is there anyone who would like to move from, why do you think people would like to move from urban areas to rural areas?
Yes.
In my opinion, I think people move from urban areas to rural areas due to chaos, like when these policemen come with tear gas and then they spread it all over. Now some people get some such disasters, so they run away from such situations and come to places in rural areas where it's calm. There are no political wars and so many more.
Yes, because it's a testimony. A lot of people don't, there are not a lot of yes, just like you say, there is less political strife in rural areas compared to urban areas. I'm sure some of you have moved before. Some, not all of you. And if you have ever moved from an urban area to a rural area, or vice versa, from urban to rural, or rural to urban, what was your experience like? And did you like it? Did you hate it? And was it nice? What did you tell us, please?
Can I speak?
Yes.
My experience was nice. I was coming from urban area to rural area. And it was nice. The roads, it was quiet. It had a beautiful scenery. The waters were calm because we were on a boat, and we had to go and we crossed lakes. We crossed Lake Victoria and went to the island, and it was very beautiful. The warm waters, the cool breeze, and we happened to see a lot of nice wild animals, and people living there live a life. They are peaceful. They are united, and there are few people actually.
Wow.
Yeah, that was nice.
From your your description, even me, I would like to go to the same place. I've never had a chance to go to an island before. The farthest I've moved, I would say is maybe Western Uganda. Yeah, like for a trip, yes, Western Uganda. Is there anyone else who would like to give us an answer? Is there anyone else? Okay, let me move on. I don't know if are there people here who do literature as an elective?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. I don't know if you've started on poetry as a topic, but if you have, that's well and good. But for those of you who don't do poetry, we're not going to do we're not going to go into detail So I'd like one volunteer to read for us this poem titled Urban Life by Webster Mubonwa, and then we move on to the next slide. Any volunteer?
A teacher me.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
People shouting, factory pollution, people rushing for the bus, an accident here, vehicle inspection there, hooters non-stop, thin dogs wander through dirt and litter. Water comes from the tap, you hardly see a rabbit or a buck. You never see real darkness, you pay for everything, your food, your fun, and people. Keep on the by Webster Mumbo.
Before we move on to the next slide, let's analyze it a bit. From the first three verses, we see people shouting, factory pollution, people rushing for the bus. In your understanding, I want you to tell me, what do you think? Okay, what's the setting here? Where are these people and what's going on around them? Is there anyone who would like to?
Teacher, can I give
Yes.
According to me, it's an urban setting.
Yes, that's true. And why do you say it's an urban setting?
According to the statement, factory pollution, that's a clear indicator it's an urban setting.
That's very true. Then when we look at the rest of the poem, an accident here, vehicle inspection there, hooters non-stop, thin dogs wander through dirt and litter, water comes from a tap. You hardly see a rabbit or a buck. You never see real darkness. When you see the statement, you never see real darkness. What comes to your mind when somebody says you never see real darkness?
It means even if darkness comes, they provide light to ignore the darkness that has come.
Yes, that's true. Even me speaking from personal experience, just last week I traveled to the village, and when you go where I was staying, there was no light. Like, it was so dark. You couldn't even, the next source of light was so far away, and it took us, you just have to go to sleep because there's no light, there's nothing for you to do. The best that they could do was create a fire for you, and then you'd sit around the fire. Then the other verses that are there, we can see you pay for everything, your food, your fun, and people sitting on the pavement. When you see you pay for food, your fun, what comes to your mind when they say you pay for everything? Is there anyone who'd like to give us a contribution?
Means nothing is for free.
Yes, true. Now you see, you have to pay for your food. People are going to markets, people are going to supermarkets, they're going to capital shoppers, I don't know. Even your fan, you have to go to places like this new water park that just came up 100,000. You have to go to places like Extreme Adventure Park. Even something that's supposed to be free is also for paying. So you can really see that urban life is really expensive, like because you have to pay for everything. And the last statement, the last verse, and people keep on sitting on the pavement. What do you think the writer was trying to imply when he said that and people keep sitting on the pavement? Anybody who would like to give us their insight?
No.
Anybody who could give us an insight? In my understanding, and people keep on sitting on the pavement. Since everybody has to pay for everything, your fun and your food, it becomes difficult to keep up with the cost of living. So eventually people end up becoming broke and homeless. So they end up sitting on the pavement begging for money because they have no source of living. Yeah. Then before we end this session, because we're about to come to a close, we have this other poem that I'd like us to review called Village Life. A different person this time. Could I have somebody to read it to us?
I can read.
Yes, please do so.
Okay, let me read. Kanya Kanyariri village of toil, village of unending work, like a never drying spring. Old women dark and bent trudge along with their hoes to plots of weedy maize. Young wives like donkeys, from cock crow to setting of the sun, go about their timeless duties. Their scratchy fingers like bows set in a row, plod up and down the rolling village farms with loads on their backs and babies tied to their bellies by mama Gase.
Yes, thank you so much. We're seeing a second poem here. This one is called Village Life. Kanyariri, village of toil. Village of unending work, like a never drying spring. From those three verses, what do you understand? What do you think the writer was trying to say? Anybody who would like to give us an insight on what they think that the writer was trying to say?
Maybe he was trying to say that they toil day and night without ending.
What?
They toil and work day and night.
Yes, that's true. Whichever. When you look at
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
I think the poem meant that the villagers work so hard, but they gain less.
Why do you say they gain it? Why do you say that they gain less? In my understanding, when you look at this village, this is a village whereby old women, you see old women on plots of farms, like farms filled with maize. They are bent over digging out the weeds that have come up with time. Then young wives are like donkeys because they are ever there is ever something on their back. They're always carrying something from one place to another. Then we see that the last three verses: plowed up and down the rolling village farms with loads on their backs and babies tied to their bellies. It shows us how, when you look at the village setting, the minute you're married, your parents, or shall I say, the community around you, it demands that you have to have a child because it is in their culture. It's in their cultural setting that the minute that you get married, you're supposed to start having children. So this poem shows us how the minute that you're married, okay, like the last three verses, they show us how the minute that you're married, you're supposed to start having children. Then from the two given poems, I'd like you to give points which help you to get a true picture of what life is like in either a town or a village. And that will be, I think, our last discussion for today. Somebody who could please tell me. Do we have any volunteers? Please feel free. Nobody can give us an insight on what they think about the poems.
Some days always.
Yes. I think we should pick up from there next week. Maybe if you'd like to do something like research, you can go and look up the adjectives that relate with village life and town life, and then you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to successfully go through the topics that we have next week. So thank you for listening.
Teacher. What in the heaven is wrong with you?
Have you ended?
Guys,
Yes.
who are we having the debate?
Who knows?
Someone should
For
be
those
know.
of you who would like to take part in the debate, I don't know if Ruth is still here. Is she? You know what? I think some of you have Teacher Steven's number, right?
No.
If you have Teacher Steven's number, just go and talk to him, and then he'll add you to the group for those who'd like to take part in the debate. The motion for this week, that's tomorrow, states that yes, her number is there. Isaac has just posted it in the chat. The motion for this week states that this house believes that climate change is a disaster waiting to happen rather than a technological challenge that can be overcome. So do as much research as you can, quote as many sources as you can. The number has been put in the chat, so just get the number and tell Ruth or Teacher Steven whether you'd like to take part in the debate this week or next week. It's up to you. So please feel free.
Okay.
Don't shy away. Yeah, and it's
May
going
you,
to yes,
may you
it's going to
please?
be on Zoom. When once you're added to the group, they'll send you the meeting ID and the passcode. So just send your details to Ruth and she'll help you out. Is that all?
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
May you please share with us the topic, the debate, in the chat.
Let me repeat it once more.
I said
This
I said that. Yeah.
Yes.
The motion on
The
the chat.
motion is in the chat.
On the chat.
Okay.
Never dance kids bila kumwona. I mean,
Guys,
Hey.